you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm going to go off camera. Did we get the moderator?
No, I guess not.
I'm here. This is Rachel Miller.
Oh, hi, Rachel.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, I guess. I got the slides up and we're ready to go.
Okay.
We'd like to hold the questions till the end, if that's okay.
That would be great. Yep, that sounds good to us.
Okay, other than that, I guess, do we have any idea how many people are signed up?
I can't see that, but maybe we'll give just about 2 more minutes if you don't mind. We'll let a couple more people log in. Is that
I usually go to, 1 minute past.
okay? Good. All right. We'll just hang tight for 1 second and we'll get us all
No
in
problem.
Do you want to share the PowerPoint, Dad, in the share tray?
How do I do that?
Open the share tray and put the PowerPoint in it. Like we did this morning.
You didn't see the PowerPoint?
I don't see it now. I saw it this morning.
I thought I did that. Hold on a second. I just opened the,
Did you open the PowerPoint?
yeah.
Now do the share button in the middle of that black bar. Open share tray.
Hold on a second. In the middle of the black bar.
The arrow.
I don't see, oh, I got you. Share content. Okay, now I'm a little disorganized, but that's okay.
There you go. What is that?
I don't know. Okay. We got it up on the screen?
Yes.
That's good. We'll wait another minute.
Sorry, I think I was on a different phone and it was giving me feedback. It's me.
Happens to all of us.
I'm
Okay.
down to about 11% battery life on my phone, so if I fall off again, I apologize. But thank you for hosting this.
No problem. My name is John Winter. I'm one half of the team of Maureen and John Winter that have been performing management for galas and auctions since 1994. We've been on site for over 400 events, written our own book, developed our own software, and for many years we traveled around the country to present to people like you and thoroughly enjoyed that experience. But times got difficult. We found we weren't reaching a lot of folks. And so we've developed a series of webinars, one of which we're going to do for you today. And I'm pleased to be joined by my daughter, Cindy Reitebach, up in Buffalo.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to talk to you today. I inherited the fundraising bug from my parents, and I've been managing auctions in the Buffalo, New York area since 2005. I have a main job of working for a church and a school, doing all their fundraising events, and have one event that raises about $150,000 each year. And I help a lot of high schools in the area, and I consult and advise on use of computer software. And I organize something I like to call the Auction Coordinators Network. And this is a great network. In this area, we all get together before COVID and share ideas. And we talk about what we're all having problems with in the fundraising world and what we can help each other with, and sharing even themes and centerpieces and even volunteers.
I have to tell you that it's a great organization. Maureen and I had the pleasure to address them a couple of years ago. And, one of the things that we found as we were doing seminars around the country was that many of you don't communicate with each other. I think a conference like what you're doing today is fabulous. A little housekeeping, you're going to be on mute during the presentation. The recording, I guess, will be disseminated to you by the organization, and the slides are also going to be available. We'll have a complete Q&A at the conclusion of the event, and we'll give you some email addresses that you can use to speak to us directly if you have any questions. Okay, what is sponsorship? You all know what it is. It's not a philanthropic support. Sponsors want to work alongside you to access your members to build credibility and sell more products and services. You make money, sponsor makes money. But most importantly, to the right sponsor, you are a valuable marketing partner, not an impoverished charity. So if you meet the needs of a sponsor and meet them more effectively through a virtual exposure, you may find yourself with more sponsor opportunities than before. Sponsors choose events based on the leads that they can gather, the connections they can make, and the brand recognition that they can build. Therefore, most of our sponsorship offerings should center around connecting your audience and your sponsors.
Many of you are familiar with traditional sponsorships such as signage, tickets, printed materials, banners, but today's challenge will be for the need to think outside the box. Let's begin with selling a virtual event sponsorship as if you were selling an experience. You have to believe in your experience and it will sell. And seek sponsors, different kinds, whether it's just for your event, but moving online everywhere is a challenge, but it's where everyone is today. And the opportunities to create and personalize content are much bigger, while costs are significantly lower. As such, sponsoring a virtual event means better leads at reduced cost. Digital advertising space allows for a myriad of options, including videos, banners, and logos. From this perspective, it's clear that it's in both of your best interest to make a partnership like this work with your clients. How do you generate event sponsorship revenue when the traditional methods are on hold? No banners or massive signage, no specially named lounges or convention halls, and definitely no face-to-face meetings other than Zoom. And if you already have sponsors for an upcoming event, how do you transition the placements they were expecting to an online environment? Here's the good news. With every lost in-person opportunity for sponsorship placement, there's a new one for virtual events, if you think big picture and are willing to get creative.
But how can I reach out to my current new corporate sponsors? You've got to realize that many corporate sponsors are shifting their priorities. Just as you're experiencing financial problems, so are they. So you have to get personal. Connect their priorities specifically with your event and your mission. Consider them a participant tool. Invite prospective sponsors or existing sponsors to be part of the planning process for your event or fundraiser so they can add real value. The old sponsor package model has become obsolete. Don't simply offer them an opportunity to put the logo on your event and attend it, because that's not enough anymore. Practice empathy. Find out what their needs are right now, what they want, and how you can help fulfill their business goals, and of course, how they can support yours.
In the past, your budget was probably 30 to 40%, even possibly 50% was just to put on a traditional gala with rentals, centerpieces, decorations, promotions. Now your major expense is video conferencing. Think about the money you can save while making money in a different way and different format.
Similar to the way nonprofits set up sponsorship levels for in-person events, virtual fundraising gives you tools to offer more promotion for higher donation amounts. For higher sponsorship levels, you can showcase the sponsor's logo and link more prominently or display it on your social media pages, or even, as we recommend, make it part of your registration. You could feature a sponsor in a video sent out over a broadcast message, or include sponsor informations in all of your emails promoting your event. Businesses are focusing more of their effort at digital advertising, just as your organization is moving fundraising events online. Sponsors present even more of a win-win situation for business and nonprofits than ever before. Think about businesses doing business online because of social distancing measures. Car dealerships, banks need more visibility when physical locations close, and the opportunity to help local businesses increases exponentially.
As I mentioned before, pricing for virtual sponsorships and virtual events can be much more cost effective than a physical event. So you'll need to adjust your sponsorship goals and pricing accordingly. Factor in your costs as well as the value and exposure you can provide to sponsors to determine reasonable sponsorship tiers and packages. Also, keep in mind that in some cases, your access to data and your ability to substantiate the value of your event may be more robust than for live event, while your sponsorship goals in a pivot to virtual event may start off more modestly than for the well-established physical version of your event. This richer data that you can collect may augment that as sponsors get used to seeing real value from the opportunities.
So, what kind of benefits are we talking about? Let's be practical for a second. You've got to look at pre-event exposure, branding, tracking, which we'll talk about and terribly important, social media promotion, email communication, website linking, banners, even some use of pop-ups, though we discourage it. And finally, yes, there's still room for swag kits and gifts. You know, one of the things that you need to understand when you're understanding the benefits that you can offer a virtual sponsor is the whole question of what it is that you're going to have to do to put on a virtual event that's different from what you did from an in-person event. We talk about that in one of our other webinars.
Now you're unrestricted by geography. You can now promote your event broadly and strategically via email, text message, and social media to build an audience beyond your immediate community, thus creating more visibility for sponsors. There are endless possibilities available for digital advertising and promotion. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and email can all help achieve brand awareness with the right exposure. Easy to begin just by tagging individuals and supporters on social media and encourage your supporters to share your event. Add powerful photos, videos, hashtags, and important stats to increase sharing and boost engagement. Start by targeting within and outside your community that share similar values, philosophies, and goals. The virtual space truly allows you to have creative freedom that physical spaces often don't. Think of it as cinema versus theater. They're both incredible, but the screen simply provides more flexibility. And the same goes for virtual events. Sponsorship activation can occur through emails, social media, content, speaking opportunities, virtual exhibitions, videos, banners, and even food delivery, and anything more you can think of. In many ways, it can be perceived as a unique opportunity. Make sponsors want to take advantage of it.
Your in-person events had a hard start and end time. This is the amount of time sponsors got their logos shared in front of the attendees and get the chance to shake hands and make connections. But the length of a virtual event is not as strict. Content can be available before the event, during the event, and with recordings shared after the event. So you have an unlimited audience. You have unlimited advertising. You have no time limit for exposure. And finally, you're going to give the sponsor an opportunity to justify their donation through tracking. Every click, every pass through can expand, whether it's on social media or on your website or on their website. By connecting all of these, you will be able to provide the sponsor with a tremendous amount of information about the responsiveness of your audience to their products. You might even consider expanding your registration page, not only having the sponsor's logos on it, but providing information on the demographics of your audience that will help them in what they do.
What are the benefits that you can offer that provide greater value to your sponsors and therefore help you attract more sponsorship? Think about the digital advertising. Just mentioned this registration platform, speaking opportunities, the branded waiting room, home deliveries, virtual malls, giveaways, sponsored activities, and still printed materials will exist today. Now that you don't have a physical space that would allow you to promote sponsors the traditional way, you'll have to make do with the possibilities the digital world offers. There are several ways to monetize a virtual event, and digital advertising is one of them. So consider banners promoting your sponsors to your event and your live stream. They can redirect the attendees to their website or a specific page, thus offering the latter of those sweet leads, and the sponsor gets more visibility. Social media marketing is the use of social media platforms to connect with your audience, to build your brand, increase sales, and drive website traffic. This involves publishing great content on your social media profiles, listening to and engaging your followers, analyzing your results, and running social media advertisements. Whether it's on your social media channels or email blast, make sure you include sponsor materials at some point. This is not extremely different from what you would do with an in-person event. You just might want to be a bit more aggressive. The major social media platforms at the moment that people are using are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Snapchat, and so much more, but you don't need me to tell you that. Plan your social media and email blasts. Make it part of your proposal. Give dates and timing for when this is going to happen. Explain in advance to the sponsor how you will reach out to the community, whether it's daily, every other day, weekly, Facebook post, and email blast. Just putting a logo on a social media is not the plan. You want to encourage links to the sponsor's product and associate with your mission. And consider videos. They can be eye-catching and entertaining. Facebook offers the sponsor the opportunity to exhibit their products and community involvement through video on charity Facebook pages. Consider swag bags, not your normal branded swag such as t-shirts to promote the event. Hand sanitizer, meal kits, or ingredients for virtual cocktail hours, cleaning products, coupons, and vouchers from local businesses. Consider sending in a digital event bag. It's a way to curate all your sponsorship content and important event links. Then you can grant your sponsors access to see which attendees clicked on their materials and how they interacted with their content. Sponsor a game. Virtual scavenger hunts have become a new hot deal. Participants will have to go to the sponsor locations and either follow them on social media or upload a picture for points. Also, each clue for the scavenger hunt will be some trivia or facts about the company. Goosechase.com works well for this.
And the platform where the event takes place isn't the only one you can harness to promote your sponsors. Another vital part of the attendees' path leading up to the big day is registration. Since there's no other option than to employ a registration platform, consider adding a spot banner or add promoting your sponsors somewhere on the registration webpage and adding questions about age, sex, occupation, and interests that will be invaluable to your sponsors in judging their approach.
From a sponsorship perspective, it doesn't get much better than a chance to speak directly to attendees. Banners and videos can easily be ignored, including pop-up ads. However, the possibility of being virtual, face-to-face with the audience and introduce the company's products or services can be quite appealing. So why not offer your sponsor a branded speaking opportunity? It doesn't have to be too long, and generally speaking, it's one of the best ways to drive revenue on your site, since direct contact with the audience doesn't come cheap. Consider things like home deliveries. Nobody can go to catered events right now. Well, maybe in some of your states, but in a lot of states we can't go. So whether you get dinner delivered at home for smaller groups of 10 or less, cocktail hours, swag, digital goodie bags. There are simply things that can't be replaced in the digital world, and catering is one of them. But if your sponsors would be on board, it would be an incredible and welcome surprise if dinner showed up at their home and maybe a nice bottle of wine for a virtual happy hour. The food packaging and labels in the bottles could even be branded and include the sponsor's logo. Have one of your sponsors underwrite a virtual cocktail hour. Recently, bartenders have even taken to online virtual happy hours and teaching people how to make cocktails. Perhaps a local liquor store will provide discounts for packages related to the exotic cocktail that will be presented, and a toast will be offered to the success of the forthcoming event. Consider co-hosting with a local restaurant for virtual dinners and offer emails or coupons to those who attend. What restaurant does not need activity at this time?
Cindy, aren't you considering something like that for your reinstated canceled event?
Yes, I have an event coming up in March and I'm working with quite a few restaurants. And for my sponsorship levels, I am asking them to provide dinners for 10. We will pay for these at a discounted rate, but people can pick up their dinners at 4:00 the day of the event and have 5 couples to their home.
Well, that depends on Governor Cuomo, I'm afraid.
Right.
But anyway, sorry about that.
A premier sponsor could have this included in their sponsorship level, where items that were planned to be sent out to attendees would have their name and logo on the packaging. You can even consider breaking out family party rooms for the event that can be hosted. I'm actually considering this for my event in March. You can bring groups together in party rooms on Zoom or a feature like that and include sponsorship for the party rooms. Sponsored goodie bags have always been a thing at events. Everybody wants to get a good goodie bag. And just because the industry has shifted to virtual, that doesn't mean they won't be anymore. Digital goodie bags provide the attendees with more value than any standard tchotchke. Think about it. How awesome would it be if sponsors offered exclusive online offers, coupons, and great deals that would attract people to their product and websites? Think vouchers for online courses, Amazon gift cards, a free 30-day trial for a digital product or service, and so much more. Chances are attendees will appreciate that a lot more than a branded mug or pencil.
But sponsors could send T-shirts and hats with their logos to the attendees before the virtual event takes place and specify that they be worn and selfies taken and use hashtags to deliver them back and make everyone aware. And those who agree to wear them during the duration would automatically be included in a massive giveaway. Think an iPad, or a $500 gift card. This would increase the visibility of the sponsor tenfold And it's another fun way to make attendees feel seen, included, and have the chance to win a prize. You know, we're all terribly concerned about, and more so than when we started these webinars, about COVID-19. If you're going to mail out anything to your participants, make sure that you outline the precautions you have taken in packaging the item. Risks of contacting the disease through the mail are low, but explaining your safety practices can give recipients added peace of mind. And think carefully about anything that you do send. It needs to be important or useful. A branded hand sanitizer is likely to prove more valuable than some random cup for coffee.
Virtual malls are a great new idea. It's very similar to what we used to have on the airplanes when we'd have the airplane mall. But this is a website for which one may buy a wide variety of goods. For example, you may purchase books, clothes, electronics, and many other items from a virtual mall. One pays for goods from a virtual mall with a credit or debit card, and they are shipped from a central location. Have several of your sponsors join in the mall prior to the event to offer their products as well, and it will help promote your event. E-commerce is already one of the biggest players in the retail industry, so why not make that part of your virtual event? Adding a virtual mall would be something unique. Additionally, it would offer your sponsors the opportunity to showcase and sell their products, which means everyone makes an instant profit.
And you could certainly, as my wife has a sewing business of children's clothes, which she has displayed at holiday boutiques over the years. Obviously, these in-person boutiques won't take place, but they're being replaced with virtual boutiques. And she is still being able to assess and donate a certain percentage of her sales back to these organizations. And you could do the same thing with your virtual mall.
Online scavenger hunts. We talked about this briefly. Think about it. Having them go anywhere around town and take pictures of their product or their sponsorship would be perfect. You have a captive audience that you're hoping to keep engaged with your event. So why not give them something fun to do and promote your sponsors at the same time? Attendee engagement can be fostered easily by adding a little bit of fun. Hold quizzes, challenges, or competitively play and allow your virtual attendees to take a break while you highlight a sponsor. Sponsors can provide games and prizes. It also gives them an opportunity to reach out to the participants and supply them with a discount code or a small gift as a way of saying thanks for playing. What is more important today than physical activity? What's more important today? Physical activity. And with social distancing rules, it must be virtual. This opens up a huge market for potential sponsorship who can sponsor a day of activity. Whether you want to get stronger, lose weight, improve your health, or gain motivation, everyone can get fit with something like Rally Fit. Join yourself, gather friends to form a team or create a corporate team and challenge your coworkers.
You know, the interesting theme that comes through with so many of the things that we've mentioned in the last 15, 20 minutes is that you now have not only the opportunity, but the incentive to spread your activities over a longer period of time, both before, during, and after the event.
Who doesn't like receiving an invitation in the mail? Printed materials can still exist. While ordinarily printed agendas and programs have moved online. But when it comes to virtual events, especially those taking place, receiving printed communications can be a positive experience that improves attendees' satisfaction and builds anticipation for the event. Best practices for creating event agendas include highlighting each event sponsor, and in this instance, it is likely to create additional benefits to them. Where most people will view a printed agenda for the duration of the live event and discard it when it is no longer of use. Virtual attendees might hold on to it for longer, keeping sponsors in the front of their mind for longer periods.
So the basic rules for virtual sponsors: featured sponsors need to be placed in important logos front and center. Banner ads can rotate at the top of the screen and clicks be measured. Profiles can display your sponsors in order of their level and track attendee engagement. And a splash page can showcase a sponsor to every attendee for 5 distraction-free seconds. And finally, your analytics can track all the digital interaction between attendees and sponsors and provide a real return of investment. The huge advantage of digital sponsorship is that they're optimized for these analytics. Recording attendee data is essential for providing return on investment and informing any necessary improvements. These tools are built with rich engagement tracking in mind, and a significant benefit lacking in the traditional online in-person events. To your sign-up form, consider adding job title, company name, location, and interests. This way, when you're pitching sponsors, you can provide specific information about the attendees that will help close your deal.
As with any sponsorship opportunity, consider your demographics. What social media platform is right for your event and your sponsors? Consider paying for boosting posts on Facebook to get more out of your reach. Consider a story with a tease. Your sponsor could be part of a story that you release a brief part of every day or even every week to encourage people to stay tuned. If you're my age and you lived through the 70s and 80s, there was a commercial for the Bounty paper towels storyline and the Dove storyline. We waited to see what came next. Or maybe even you want to share with others and keep them interested. Perhaps your sponsor wants to be included in the post in some photos and hashtags, and of course, tag them and their product at all times. Even consider a photo with a caption contest. Readers will all want to see who won the caption. As I mentioned, include sponsors everywhere, especially all the pre-event posts. Even if you promise a sponsor 2 posts a week and you're able to give them a bonus post, let them know. Let them know you're working for them. They will appreciate it.
And you have to be cognizant of what audience you're trying to attract and match that to the different social media platforms. Email is still one of the most powerful ways to communicate with your prospective audience, no matter the circumstances. And the sponsor can be made available of this. Just make sure the emails featuring your sponsors are informative and newsworthy. Otherwise, they can be viewed as spam. Discuss with your sponsor how email marketing works: low cost, individual emails, tracking, and response. In our webinar series that we do commercially, we use a company called Virtual Response, but Constant Contact and MailChimp are 2 others who provide mass emails with individual emails directly to each email address. More importantly, we can formulate exactly who opens the emails, who discards them, and gain valuable insights that help our marketing efforts.
Customize your website. Throwing a logo on isn't enough to retain sponsor interest. Your website is endlessly customizable, so use it wisely to strengthen relationships and retain revenue for the long haul. Be sure to have a sponsor page on your site. Create short blurbs for each, details on what they are sponsoring, and a link to their website with direct contact information. The virtual event. Your event's live stream can also be monetized through ad space that you can sell to sponsors if your platform allows them. Banner ads are a great way to incorporate additional branding opportunities for sponsors. You may decide to have banners appear on the screen during presentations to highlight a certain sponsor. While banners are ideal for between sessions, because they are not disruptive. And just like you would for an in-person event, prioritize what your audience really wants. For example, don't surprise or irritate your audience with relentless pop-ups or ads that follow them around. That's the wrong way to give your sponsors exposure because it won't leave a positive impression. Focus on providing valuable information that's clear and easy to use, and present it through an experience that's engaging and relevant to your audience. And just like at a regular event where you see a step and repeat logo backdrop, create a backdrop like that for your virtual event. The use of a branded backdrop for all your photos and during the event will create great sponsorship visibility. You might think that virtual events exclusively present digital sponsorship options, but creative planners can find a way to deliver unexpected value, especially during the current global situation. Give some thoughts on how you can help your sponsors provide value to your attendees. Sell sponsorships for different award categories and auction sections. Upload a colorful, eye-catching photo that represents the fantastic work you do. And in the caption, add a short history and your relationship with the sponsor. Ask the sponsor for a short testimonial and 2 to 3 sentences about why they give to your organization and what the cause means to them.
And, you know, at the conclusion of the event, it's the same practice. You want to communicate with your sponsors how you did, but interestingly enough, you want to communicate with your attendees on whatever fundraising activities you did and how you did. You want an in-person meeting, an evaluation of the sponsor's activity and yours promoting them. And you want to develop some kind of a long-term relationship between your sponsor and your organization. So you practice the same type of thank yous that you did with a live event. Recap all activity, social media, and clicks. After the event, practice, recap all the activity, but more importantly, provide a recording of the event. Sponsors can promote their participation, send links to their public, and show how they have participated in helping your organization reach the efforts that it's trying to do. You know, many of you, a little aside to conclude this presentation for a minute, I was absolutely fascinated when I ran across this in my research. You've all, I'm sure, particularly in galas and award dinners, produced a program. You've sold ads in it, and it's been a huge success in all ways. Well, I ran across a virtual digital program for the French-American Chamber of Commerce of Chicago. You open the pages and you find a totally interactive page after page of click. Cindy mentioned, have your dinner drink ready. Learn how to make a cocktail at home with Francois. And you click on the link and you're immediately joined to the meeting where the cocktail is being explored. In the thank you letter to the sponsors, every sponsor is a click link so that we can thank our live auction donors, our partners, all with clicks that can be measured. And finally, if we're having a raffle, there's an absolute click just to hold a bid. If you're holding an auction, obviously the items can all be displayed digitally, no matter how many there are. And you provide a vehicle for sponsorship, again, with live clicks. The live auction, if you do hold one, can be prominently featured with many illustrations and text that's easy to. And finally, a button to bid. So you see the possibilities are endless. Start by thinking about traditional digital sponsorship packages that you would normally offer and see what you can apply creatively to your online event. You may need to tweak a few things, and you may find opportunities for completely unique ideas to round out your sponsorship offerings. But certainly be relying on virtual events for at least the next 6 or 8 months. So now is the time to start perfecting your performance and how you do it, and using that to attract new and existing sponsors. Cindy and I will be doing a recap of our virtual fundraising series. It'll be on December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And if you wish to join, we'll provide a link for you. We're offering all of you a 20% discount on our normal $30 session. And we'll be sending out information on that. The forthcoming webinars, we deal with one where we deal with simple events that you can do, a bike, a walk, a run, a class session, even a bowling party. And finally, how to do a virtual gala. It's a lot different, but those recordings are available, and they will be presented December 1st to 3rd at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Just use the promotional code webinar for a 20% discount. So now it's time for questions, and I guess I get out of here, from what I understand, and go back to, there we are. Okay. So do we have any questions? We certainly recognize that we've covered a very substantial amount of material, and what we're trying to do is give you an overview of the entire possibilities, and you can take it from there. Yes, Rachel. Once again, I think I may have gone over it too fast, and I apologize. So it's in the slides that Christine will be distributing to all of you. But our 2 email addresses, if you want to take it down. Mine is jtw@charityauctionhelp.com. jtw@charityauctionhelp.com. And Cindy's is much easier, dinnerauction@gmail.com.
Holly, I see you have a question regarding the digital swag bags. Are the items online, free, or at a discount? Holly, this would depend on what you have in the digital swag bag. If a sponsor would like to just capture a person, then why not give something free? So by them clicking on it and filling out their information, something's going to be sent to them. Kind of like a Kickstarter without somebody giving money.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. Okay, you really have to use your imagination and recognize the fact that whatever you do use will be appreciated if there's a lot of thought behind it, and incorporating your sponsor then gives you more justification for the money that they may give you. And as we mentioned, it's also a great opportunity to help local businesses in terms of gift certificates that can be used online. And by having online items, you certainly minimize the amount of traffic back and forth.
It's really hard today with so many different people needing help sponsorship wise, just to get their mission out there, and also your mission of what you want to achieve with your fundraising. And with everything that's going on with COVID-19, we all have to work together, but at the same point, we have to use our local communities. I know it's easy to find something online and get it printed quickly and overnight and probably a little bit cheaper than your local printer. But think about partnershiping. Everybody right now is willing to work together. We just had a t-shirt company that contacted us. Everyone is struggling and looking for ways to work together with fundraising.
Well, we know that you've got a lot of business to attend to, so if there's no further questions, remember, we're here to help you. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, John and Cindy. We, on behalf of GIAC, we really appreciate you guys presenting today.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, talk to y'all soon.
Bye.